Sheila Johnson and every WNBA star should thank God every morning and every night for Kate.
Skip Bayless has unleashed a fiery rant on the WNBA and Caitlin Clark's critics, shaking up the sports world. The legendary commentator didn't hold back, slamming the backlash to Clark's Time Athlete of the Year award as utterly baffling.
Her greatest achievement. The biggest reason she was chosen Athlete of the Year by Time, Caitlin Clark lifted the WNBA into the national consciousness, made it a thing for the first time. People everywhere were talking about the WNBA in ways they never did before.
Here's the twist. Skip Bayless, once a vocal critic of Caitlin Clark, has now become one of her strongest supporters. So, what changed? And why does it seem like the WNBA is treating Clark's success as an issue? Let's dive into it. Ready? Let's go.
That skinny white girl was the best thing that ever happened to the WNBA. She's already the most exciting and entertaining player in the league, the entire league, the one you can't take your eyes off of.
Caitlin Clark's rise to becoming Time Magazine's Athlete of the Year in 2024 should have been a historic celebration for women's basketball. Instead, it ignited a wave of controversy that's left the sports world buzzing. As the first WNBA player to earn this prestigious honor, you'd expect unanimous applause. But no, critics emerged, including Sheila Johnson, co-owner of the Washington Mystics. Her sharp criticism of Time's decision shocked everyone, adding fuel to an already heated debate.
Said she did not agree with Time magazine making Caitlin Clark the first ever WNBA player to be Athlete of the Year, and with putting Caitlin Clark on the cover. Johnson said the entire WNBA should have been chosen as the League of the Year and that numerous stars should have been put on the cover.
Johnson claimed that honoring Caitlin Clark alone was a misstep, asserting that the entire WNBA merited recognition. She cautioned that placing the focus solely on Clark could stir tensions among players, igniting a broader discussion about fairness and league-wide acknowledgement.
Said the WNBA has a long legacy of black stars and that, and I quote, "Something clicked with the WNBA last year because of the draft. It's not just Caitlin Clark, it's Reese," as in, of course, Chicago's Angel Reese. Johnson said, and I quote, "There's so much talent out there that's unrecognized, and I don't think we can pin it on just one player. When you single out one, it creates hard feelings." And
Johnson deepened the debate by pointing to potential racial undertones, voicing concern for equally talented players of color who lack similar recognition. She criticized media portrayals of race in sports, suggesting they exacerbate disparities, and called for a more inclusive approach to celebrating talent in the WNBA.
Just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now, it is time for that to happen.
Here's the twist. Johnson's own team, the Mystics, has reaped benefits from Clark's rising popularity. Games against Clark's Fever have drawn record-breaking crowds. This makes Johnson's critique puzzling, as her team is thriving off the very success Clark brings to the league's growing spotlight.
for the ultimate irony about what Sheila Johnson said about Caitlin Clark? Last season, for Caitlin Clark's 2 visits to Washington, the Mystics moved the games from their little home arena, which seats a little under 5,000, to the Wizards Arena, which officially seats 20,356. And thanks to Caitlin Clark, Sheila Johnson's Mystics drew the WNBA's biggest crowd of the year and the WNBA's 3rd biggest crowd of the year.
Bayless is never one to hold back, and this time was no exception as he delivered a scathing critique.
The Mystics went from about 5,000, averaging about 5,000 for all their other home games, to an average of 20,500 for the 2 Caitlin visits. What? I mean, Sheila Johnson should, I don't know, at least send Caitlin some flowers, because she never gives her any flowers in interviews for sure. But no way should Caitlin Clark And Caitlin Clark alone be on the cover of Time, or so Sheila indicated. And I say baloney to
Bayless didn't just disagree with Johnson. He went all in, claiming Clark's revolutionary impact on WNBA popularity has shaken the entire basketball community.
Allow me to tell you how I interpret everything Sheila Johnson said about Caitlin Clark. Johnson is saying to me, the majority of WNBA players are black and have always been black, that basketball belongs more to black players than to white, and that it's not healthy for the league to have a white player featured as Athlete of the Year on the cover of Time. Now, I'm pretty sure if WNBA MVP Asia Wilson had made the cover of Time as Athlete of the Year, Johnson wouldn't have had any problem with that.
How did we get here? A moment that should have celebrated women's basketball has ignited a heated debate, with Skip Bayless emerging as Caitlin Clark's most vocal defender. To understand this, we need to trace Bayless's journey from skeptic to ardent supporter. Initially, Bayless, known for his outspoken takes, approached Clark with doubt, uncertain about the buzz surrounding this rising star. But as he watched her dominate on the court, something shifted. Her undeniable talent broke through his skepticism, leaving him no choice but to acknowledge her greatness. Bayless, who once hesitated to praise Clark, now finds himself as one of her most passionate advocates, highlighting the remarkable impact she's had on the sport.
NBA much more closely than I ever had, and I started to think, deep down in my psyche, wait a second, she's really good. But I'll be the first to admit, I felt guilty saying so on TV or on social media. I did not want to look like this red state white guy cheering for this red state white girl. Our country feels split enough racially already. I didn't want to pour gasoline on that.
Skip Bayless found himself in a tough spot. He knew Caitlin Clark was incredible, but hesitated to speak up. However, as Clark continued to dominate, Bayless couldn't stay silent any longer. He had a realization that shifted his entire perspective. Are you ready to hear what Skip has to say?
She led the league in logo threes made, in part because she surely attempted the most very deep threes. No female player has ever been able to jump shoot from such distance or even tried to.
That skinny white girl was the best thing that ever happened to the WNBA, Skip Bayless declared. He looked beyond the racial discussion and recognized Caitlin Clark's transformative impact on the entire league.
Clark's long-distance threes became the most exciting shot in the WNBA. Her spectacular passes became the most exciting plays in the WNBA. Now, yes, she shattered the WNBA's record for turnovers because she would try to pull off passes that were all but impossible. But at least, once or twice a game, sometimes 3 or 4 times a game, she did pull off the near impossible.
Skip Bayless's perspective shifted dramatically. He began seeing Caitlin Clark as a game changer for women's basketball. She's already the most exciting and entertaining player in the league, the one you can't take your eyes off of, he said. It wasn't just about race. It was about talent, entertainment, and growing the sport.
Yet she accomplished all of the above while occasionally being bullied and cheap-shotted by veteran players who clearly were jealous and resentful of the publicity she was generating, not just generating about her, but for the league. Yet not once did Caitlin Clark complain about the bullying or the cheap-shotting. Not once did she say anything but the right thing about how black stars had built this league. Caitlin Clark just kept playing, kept getting better and better and better.
When Sheila Johnson criticized Clark's Time Athlete of the Year award, Skip Bayless didn't hold back. He slammed Johnson's comments as racist, arguing they implied the WNBA should only belong to black players.
Look, I'm going to be completely honest about this. I thought what Wizards owner Sheila Johnson said about Caitlin Clark came off as racist.
Bayless saw this as a dangerous path. He stated that singling out one race over another only perpetuates division and undermines the collective success of the league.
Sheila Johnson believes the WNBA ultimately belongs only to black stars, that in the end, it's a black sport, and that the face of the league cannot be white. To me, that's flat out racist. To me, the one who is deepening the division of racism that could tear this league apart is Sheila Johnson.
Bayless went all in defending Clark, emphasizing her massive impact on the WNBA's visibility. He declared that Caitlin Clark had lifted the WNBA into the national consciousness. For Bayless, it was no longer about race. It was about recognizing exceptional talent and its power to elevate the entire sport. In a powerful statement, he concluded that Clark deserved Time's Athlete of the Year because she earned it, calling for a focus on skill and impact, regardless of race. "Just give me the very best players playing at the highest levels," he said.
Hasn't had a white American player anywhere close to Larry Bird since Larry Bird. But in this case, now the most exciting and entertaining player in women's basketball happens to be white. She deserved Time's Athlete of the Year because she earned it.
Bayless's journey from skeptic to supporter highlights the complex issues surrounding Clark's rise, raising important questions about race, talent, and recognition in sports. As the debate continues, one thing is clear. Caitlin Clark's impact on women's basketball is undeniable, and it's forcing everyone to confront some uncomfortable truths.
White people, black people, all kinds of people were talking about and watching women's basketball. The skinny white girl detonated all that. Yes, she brought a lot more white people through the turnstiles, but surely Sheila Johnson doesn't care what color her customers are, does she?
As the debate continues, another story unfolds from the numbers. How much has Caitlin Clark's influence changed the WNBA? The answer may surprise even her harshest critics. Let's take attendance, for example. Clark's team, the Indiana Fever, broke a single-season WNBA record with nearly 350,000 fans at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. This isn't just a slight increase, it's a massive shift in fan engagement. Fans aren't just watching Clark play, they're coming out in record numbers to see her on the court.
Caitlin Clark sells.
Clark's influence goes far beyond just boosting attendance. On the court, she's breaking records left and right. In her rookie season, she averaged an impressive 19.2 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 8.4 assists per game, shattering 62 records. In her debut year, Clark is already making a historic impact.
Indiana team that had gone 13-27 the year before she was drafted, of course, won 7 of its last 11 last season as Caitlin Clark actually rose from just the obvious Rookie of the Year into the MVP discussion as a rookie.
Clark's performance was so impressive that she became the first rookie since 2008 to secure a spot on the All-WNBA first team and, of course, claimed the Rookie of the Year award. It's as though she entered the league and immediately played at a veteran level. The WNBA as a whole is riding a wave of excitement, with Morning Consult naming it the fastest-growing brand of 2024, largely thanks to Clark's influence. However, despite her success, criticism within the league continues. Some argue that Clark's overwhelming popularity is overshadowing other talented players, particularly veterans, creating a tension that's impossible to ignore.
WNBA's black stars need to quit reading what a few nobodies say about them in social media comments.
Clark isn't avoiding these tough conversations. In her Time interview, she addressed the issue directly, demonstrating her awareness of the complex dynamics at play. She's not just breaking records, she's also confronting challenging questions about race, recognition, and opportunity in professional sports, showing maturity beyond her years.
Inference is always that Caitlin Clark caused this. No, all she caused was attention and drawing power that the WNBA did not have before she arrived. She did this as a minority member of the league, as a white player in a league that is majority black.
As Caitlin Clark's star continues to rise, a storm brews within the WNBA. The league finds itself at a crossroads, with players, coaches, and fans divided over Clark's meteoric ascent. It's no longer just about one player's success. It's about the future of women's basketball. Some established WNBA stars are concerned that Clark's popularity is overshadowing their hard-earned achievements. These players have been grinding for years to build the league's foundation, and now they're watching a rookie steal the spotlight. It's understandable why they might feel sidelined in this moment.
The very best players playing at the highest levels, regardless of color. I don't care.
But here's where it gets complicated. This isn't just about jealousy or hurt feelings. There's a racial element that can't be ignored. Imagine a league torn between celebrating its new superstar and addressing long-standing issues within the organization. It's a delicate balance, and one wrong move could have serious consequences. If the WNBA mishandles the situation, they risk alienating fans from all backgrounds. Caitlin Clark's impact on the WNBA is undeniable. She's bringing in new fans, breaking records, and pushing the league into the national spotlight. However, her arrival has sparked both excitement and controversy. The league now faces a crucial turning point, as it's no longer just about one player or one season. It's about the future of women's professional basketball. The WNBA must evolve and grow, but they need to focus on what truly matters, the product on the court, not the drama off it. It's a tall order, but one that could shape the league for years. So what do you think? Can the WNBA rise to this challenge? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.